What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Nikki. If you are new, welcome to my channel. If you are coming back, welcome back. Thanks for continuing to support you, girl. And in today's video, I am here to talk about all the things that people do not tell you about living in Atlanta. It is giving very much ghetto. So I'm here to talk about that today. Just some assumptions that people have that aren't necessarily true. So I'm going to talk about that today. But before we get into the video, if you guys have yet to do so, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can go ahead and support your girl. We are on the road to 3,000, as well as turn on that notification bell so you're notified when I post. And let's go ahead and get right into the video. So as I mentioned, it's giving very much ghetto. There are a lot of things that I enjoy about living in Atlanta, but at the same time, I will say there's also a lot of things that I cannot stand about it. So I am here to talk about that today. So I have my list in front of me here. It's upside down. Let's turn it around. But the number one thing I have on my list is going to be the fact that everything is hella far from each other, like mad far from each other. So as people know, Georgia is a huge state. And people expect for Atlanta, I think, sometimes to be like right down the street from each other. No, not at all. I live on the outskirts of Atlanta, so I live in a suburb on the outside of Atlanta. And pretty much for me to get to everything that is popping, so to the malls or just to shopping plazas and different things like that, it's like a half-hour drive. Living in Georgia, it should be a requirement for you to have transportation because everything is hella far. And right now, gas prices are mad high, so you're going to be paying bank if you want to do things, and that's including work and if you want to do things on the weekend. So do expect that a lot of things are going to be far. So if you're in the south of Georgia, you know, you're going to have like an hour drive to get down to Atlanta sometimes because of traffic. If you're in the suburbs, it's sometimes a half hour and maybe a little less than that. Depends on where you're living. If you're in Decatur or somewhere like that, it all just depends. But it's just giving very much ghetto just because why do we have to drive so far to get to everywhere? Like, I'm not used to this. I'm from Ohio, so I'm used to everything being like a 10-15 minute drive from each other, but half-hour drive. Shoot, my dad lives far south. It's literally an hour for me to go see my dad. Just everything is just mad far from each other. So that's just one of the things that I feel like a lot of people don't talk about. It's just the fact that you kind of need a solid source of transportation. So that's just number one, the fact that everything is mad far. And I feel like it wouldn't be that much of a problem if gas prices weren't so high, but gas prices are so high right now. So because of that, you know, people are staying in the house. I've been in the house a lot because of it. It's just, everything is just so far from each other. Number two, people are not as nice as people say. So Southern hospitality, let me talk about this. When I first moved down here, I expected everybody to be nice, hold the doors open for you, smile, speak like that. No, I have seen a lot that has been the complete opposite. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of nice people that live in Atlanta, but there are also a lot of really rude people, and specifically in customer service. I don't know if it's just me or where I live, but a lot of times when I go through like drive-thrus and stuff like that, a lot of the people, and I'm not going to say all of them because I'm not going to be biased, but a lot of the people that live here are rude. And you know, everybody's always saying that like people down south are so nice, or I need to move from up north and move down south. No, do not get it twisted, because there's even some of my neighbors that I speak to that don't even speak back to me. So it's like, is it really a southern thing for everybody to be nice? And that's one of those things where I feel like it's everywhere. People are mean everywhere, but don't let people get it twisted. There are still really rude people that live in Atlanta, and I'm not saying that they are from here. I don't know if they migrated from a different part of the country or a different country or something like that, but a lot of people who live here right now can be rude. So that's one of the things that I noticed. Don't come here and expect for it to just be all butterflies and rainbows, because people will pop fly with you just like they will anywhere else. So that's one of the things I noticed. Like I said, especially in customer service. I don't know what be going on, but a lot of these young people specifically, I notice a lot of the older people, they are a lot friendlier, but a lot of the young people, you know, like, and I don't know what generation it's called, but the newest generation, I'll figure that out. I know I'm going to remember after this. So if I remember, I'm going to leave it right here. But a lot of people in that generation, you know, they're young. I don't know if they want to work nowadays, but their attitudes and customer service have not been the best since I've lived in Atlanta. So number 3 on the list, we're going to talk about the fact that there's a lot of scammers. So I say that to say, just watch out. Just be careful, because there are scammers. I didn't know that it was a thing to when you went to the gas station, people, like, you know how you pay, you put your debit card or credit card into the pump at the gas station to pay. I didn't know that it was a thing that people actually went in after you, and that there was a such thing as people reading your card, so getting a copy of your card number after you pay at the gas station. But that's something that actually exists here in Atlanta, which is very ghetto to me. Like, why can't I just go to the gas station and just pay for some gas without having to worry about a scammer trying to finesse me? So that's been something I noticed too. A lot of scammers have come here too, trying to scam you out of phones. They have iPhones for sale for the low, so they say, or they're selling fake Jordans. A lot of people are giving grams the way that they try to make it seem when it comes on the weed side. So there are a lot of scammers down here. And then there's also a lot of water boys and plugs everywhere. And I'm not a problem with people making money. I don't think that there's a problem with people making money. So let's just exclude the water boys, because I don't feel like that's a problem. You know what I mean? Make your way the way that you want, make your money the way that you want to make it. But when it comes to the plugs, I'm also not against somebody being a plug either. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not against that. I'm not against weed smoking or anything like that. But I will say that they are everywhere, and they will creep up on you. They'll creep up on you, and they are going to pressure you into buying some gas from them, okay? And it's not even going to be like just at one time, you know what I mean? They're all over, and they're at the gas stations. This is all you see. Like, if you're in a car, it's people outside like this. Like, weed is definitely here and alive and well in Atlanta. So just know that there is going to be a lot of plugs, you know, which is a good thing for some people. But at the same time, it's like, hey, let me have my space. If I wanted some, I would ask you for some. So watch out for the plugs, because they will definitely hunt you down around here, okay? So next on the list, we're going to talk about cost of living. So I talk about this in all my videos. That's literally what my whole video and my whole channel is dedicated to, is just me and talking about the cost of living in Atlanta. But the cost of living here is ridiculous. The square footage is not matching what is given at all. For example, up north, you can get a nice little 1,100 square feet apartment for like $800. But here, you're looking at $1,100. An apartment more than likely is going to be a 2-bedroom if it's 1,100 square feet, because that is kind of big. But you're looking at about $1,700, $1,800, most of the time $2,000 for 1,100 square feet apartment compared to up north. It's just ridiculous. And a lot of people's percentages and their salaries are going towards their rent instead of other things, you know what I mean? And yeah, that's going to happen. Most of the time, people's biggest bill is going to be their rent. But to spend that much of your income on just the cost of living, to me, to live here is kind of ridiculous. Cost of living is just so much. And I don't know if it's been because of the pandemic or what's going on, but try to avoid that, just because, you know, I don't know. I'm not going to say don't move here, but just know if you're moving here, just have your funds ready to pay bank on the cost of living, okay? So next, we're going to talk about one of my personal ones that I deal with all the time, is the fact that everything here is mad packed. I say that to say, if you want to go somewhere low key, if you and your man or whatever, or your friend or somebody want to have a low key night, like for example, me and my boyfriend went to go bowling last night, and we were thinking about going to Stars and Strikes. If anybody doesn't know what Stars and Strikes is, this is like this little bowling arcade kind of place. So we wanted to go there, but we walked in, we're like, no, it's too many people. Like, people are literally stacked on top of each other wherever you go, especially if it's like a brunch spot or something like that. People are all over. So it does make it hard for you to have a nice, chill, quiet date night or whatever sometimes, because a lot of these places are overcrowded. So me, I'm becoming, the more older I get, I feel like I'm becoming more of an introvert and more of a homebody. So being out in public and having all these people, all these strangers sat on top of you, this has just become a problem for me. I mean, I'm all about the turn up. Anybody who knows me know I like to turn up and go out or whatever. But there are some nights where you just want to chill and have a nice, calm, quiet movie or dinner night. And sometimes that can't always happen, because a lot of the places here are sometimes overcrowded. So next, we're going to talk about the fact that everything is expensive. And I already talked about the cost of living with rent and everything like that. But everything is expensive as far as basic things like getting your hair done. Like, this silk press was $65. Up north, my silk press is probably like $50, which is $15 less. But I could have did something else with that $15. But I would say that the hair is the main thing. I have not had braids in a couple of months because of this. People right now are charging like $600, $700 for box braids, which is insane. So just be aware of that everything is a little bit more expensive. I will say that nails and like getting your feet done and stuff isn't really as expensive as hair, but hair for real is crazy right now. Like getting a wig installed is like $200. Getting those faux lock things are like $400, $500, which is to me a lot of money. So everything is a little bit more expensive here as far as being able to keep up with yourself and being a woman. So that's one thing I will say, that just things are just expensive. And I don't see why, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like certain hairstyles does take a few hours to do. But charging $700 for some box braids is just, look, pump the brakes on that. I would never pay nobody no $700 to do my hair. But, you know, if you got it, you got it. Me, I wouldn't do it, but that's just too much. So next we're going to talk about the fact that there are car accidents everywhere. And this is something I'm not going to say it frustrates me because, you know, I haven't been personally impacted by it, so I don't want to be biased. But it's ridiculous and it's sad because some people down here do not know how to drive. And they're literally so much in a rush. Nobody is paying any attention to where they're going. Everybody is just trying to get to where they go as quickly as they can without thinking about anybody else around them. So there's so many car accidents. And because of that, there is a huge delay in getting to where you need to go. There's so much traffic because there's accidents everywhere. And whether it be like a little minor accident, so somebody tapping the back of somebody's car and having a bunch of traffic, or if it's something that is crucial and like something that is more bigger, like a bigger accident. So that's something that you need to be wary of. Be careful. I say this to people all the time, even when my family comes to visit me and they're driving. Be careful driving in Atlanta because people do not know how to drive here and they literally act like they have nothing to lose, but you have something to lose. Okay, so just drive safe and just don't be in a rush. Nothing is worth your life and nothing worth your safety at the end of the day. So as long as you are driving safely and making sure you are watching where you're going, you'll be absolutely fine. But I will say that the people around you you actually need to watch out for them a little bit more. So last but not least on the list, we're going to talk about water bugs. Water bugs is something that I have managed to overcome, but it's also been something that I have noticed has happened a lot. So water bugs are huge here in Atlanta. So water bugs are like those little fat, I'm gonna put a picture right here. Water bugs are just like those real fat, big cockroaches looking bugs. They're literally everywhere. And when I say this, they're in my job. There's been days where I'm sitting at work with my kids and I see one in the corner. Like there's been one at my jobs. There's been ones that if I'm going to visit my friend, different things like that. Water bugs are everywhere. So I would say make sure that you have the sprays and different things to kill them and get rid of them so that they cannot repopulate, because that is something that they are going to try to do and they're going to be everywhere. So make sure that you are prepared for that and being that. So that is a few things that I feel like people assume that's going on with Atlanta that's actually not, just things that they feel like are okay, which are not okay. You know what I mean? Atlanta is very ghetto in a lot of ways, and I feel like I can go on and on about that. But today, those are the only 9 things that we're going to talk about. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. That's just my personal experience, things that I've seen and the things that I've realized to happen since I've lived in Atlanta. Please comment below some other videos you guys would like to see me do, as well as turn on that notification bell like I said in the beginning of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.